Good morning, race fans. Welcome to a thrilling CMS event here at the picturesque MotorLand Aragon, located right in the heart of Spain. Today, we're going to have those prestigious Porsche Cup 992s. Oh, we're going to be packed with intense battles, incredibly talented field of drivers set to compete over the next 30 minutes. See, a little bit cloudy. It looks like morning session here today in Spain. So kind of correlating to real life. Sean Stam up in the booth here today. Was supposed to have some help, but not sure what happened there. Just maybe sleeping in a little late. Don't blame him early, but we're going to bring you the action here today on Stam Studio Network. These Porsche Cup cars always deliver excitement, and man, with these drivers competing on this technical demanding track today, the outer layout, the combination of those long straights and tight corners, as well as elevation changes, it's just going to make for a great show here at Motorland Aragon. Appreciate you everybody joining stream here this morning. It's looks like we are just getting everybody on the grid now. Michael Parker gonna slap it on the pole. Don't see. Looks like a 138, I think that says. Looks like Enrico right there beside him. Mark Johnson going to start P3. Chad Henson P4. Jarrett Skinner P5. James Andrew P6. Mark Reed P7. David Nelson P8. Mike Tyler P9. P10. David Anderson, and P11, that number 8 Porsche Cup car. All right, so you see we do have that Porsche safety car out there, so going to be at least one warm-up lap, get everything up to temperature. Don't blame them, because if we take a look at the race info here, kind of cool track conditions, so yeah, just one more chance for everything to get right up to temperature. Should be seeing track map in that circle on the right side of your screen. No track map showing yet. Not sure if this is just so new of a track that not within our graphics database systems, but going to be a great race today. Engines starting to come to life here, and we're just moments away from the green flag. 30-minute race will fly by extremely quick. Quick shout out to those sponsors: Penguin RC, Masterworks, Sim Racing 247, of course Xbox Game Pass. And hey, if you're looking for any Fanatec equipment, be sure to use Champion Motorsports affiliate link. No, my Fanatec equipment keeps me going fast. Got that CSL direct drive. I believe I got the old V3 pedals, so not fast enough to compete with these guys here today, but fast enough for my liking. Flash the CMS points up on the screen here. See Chad Henson leading in the points, has 3 starts. Looks like Enrico sitting there P2. Gab Chavez P3 in the points, unable to make it out today. Jarrett Skinner, Mark Johnson, Michael Parker, Donald Cepek. I don't think he's here today either. James Andrew. And James showing up in the old Porsche Cup versus NAS Cup, my league that I've started. We ran yesterday. James, we had a great battle coming down to the wire. You can check that out on Stam Studio Network. Just fast forward to the end if you want there. But elevation change, we're gonna have to deal with it out the butt today, because personally, I haven't turned a lap here, but I have seen some races on YouTube now, and been watching a little bit of practice go on. We got some reverse corkscrews, some long straightaways, and you know what else we have? Everybody check this out. I'm gonna hop on board with David Anderson. You're looking at him there, guys. The one, the only David Anderson, the 278, gonna start P10, his Porsche Cup car. David, thanks for coming out, showing us that driver cam. Gonna be trying to see how you wrangle this thing around MotorLand Aragon this morning. See the sun starting to beam off that track, reflect up into the driver's eyes just a little bit. Alrighty, anticipation is going to continue to build now. I mean, at this point, it's all just going to come down. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. It's got some hairpins here as well. Oh boy. Got lots of respect for one another in this race series. Lots of sportsmanship. Very clean racing we've seen so far. 6-race season. We're only going to have 2 races to go after this. So these drivers definitely know how one another races. Going side by side with one another, and might know just who is going to pull out or maybe try and shove it down the inside just a little bit harder now that you know how each other races. And don't forget what we're fighting for. We are fighting for that all gold resin and a trophy that you can put up on the old display case. So looks like that Porsche Cup car going to dive for safety, and I don't blame him. Green flag. Just a few moments from being away. Michael Parker, field is in your hands. Green flag is out, and away we head up into turn 1. A very tight left-hander. Everybody gonna make it through okay. A little bit smaller field than what we've seen so far, but Jarrett Skinner making it work so far. Gonna be the inside next time by. Okay, James Andrew making the inside work here. Michael Parker still out to the lead up early on. Got Enrico there in that lime green, very vibrant Porsche Cup car. That's going to catch everybody's attention coming down the track. Be sure to subscribe. CMS, Sam Studio Network. Show us that you care about our work here, and it goes a long way. Chad Henson already. Started P4, trying to make some ground P3. That's tight turn 4. Heading down into the reverse corkscrew now. Going to have to be very careful as things continue to build pressures, build temperatures. It's cool morning here in Spain. Biggest mover so ooh, we saw a driver go off the track there. Looked like David Nelson, hard into the barriers. Not sure what happened, if he had some help there or not. We're going to take a replay brought to you by Stam Studio Network. Just mentioned the cooler pressures. Oh, we did. Oh, is that and that number 8 car? Yeah, I don't want to get names too wrong or anything too early for me here, but so looks like David just had to make some evasive action there and got a little bit of damage on the rear of his 992. We're going to complete lap 1. Michael Parker still out to the lead. Biggest mover so far, Mark Reed, that number 63, up to 5th. Gained 2 spots since the start of the race. Got Mark Johnson running P3, and then Chad Henson P4 right behind him. Oh man, I talked about my experience here. I'd like to ask you guys in the old YouTube chat, how many races have you ran at MotorLand Aragon? Because even doing research on the track, trying to find some real GT3 races, couldn't quite find a lot of broadcasts for it. So I'm gonna transition that into the fact that maybe some of these drivers just not with that much experience here. Maybe compared to a track that they've spent years knowing. Just like mentioned, man, I just had to buy this thing. Jarrett Skinner running P6, putting down a 145 last lap, but Michael Parker out here in the lead, putting down a 143.92. We're gonna look side by side going down the hill. Hang on to her, guys. We're still side by side. Who is going to give way? Who breaks earlier? That's Jarrett Skinner we're looking at, and then Mark Reed right there behind him. Looks like Mark able to... Now he's going to concede that spot for now, but don't count Mark out of this thing just yet. Close battles all over the track. This is what this Porsche Cup car really brings to the table. I mean, you got no traction control, no ABS. Really going to have to trust your driver's skill, driver knowledge of the track, and with how dynamic iRacing is starting to become, you see a racing line already starting to form, some tire rubber being laid down. I don't think we've seen any gravel thrown up onto the track just yet, but that's also something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at David Anderson, our one driver cam of the day. You can see how he's wrangling this car around MotorLand Aragon, Spain. Oh, focused. Very focused. And running in Porsche Cup versus NASCAR yesterday, I started breaking a freaking sweat. So wouldn't doubt if we start to see that here from David. But yeah, showing at P9, gained a spot since the start of the race, and we'll hop on board with him now. Appreciate David for coming on board with that driver cam. We see somebody in the chat. Let's see what we got. Eric Anderson, countless laps. I hold the lap record in the Mini Cooper class. Shout out Eric, man. That's my buddy joining in the old YouTube chat. Mini Cooper. That way rear wing front splitter on that thing, and Mini Cooper versus Porsche Cup, possibly upcoming next season. Battle for the lead. Holy smokes, man. Throw a blanket over all of these guys. Gap for the lead, only 0.7 seconds. And let's take a look at some lap times compared to these guys. So that's the leader Parker going against Gregorado. Slower lap 1, 2, but starting to build pace 3 is Gregorado. And then we're going to compare P2 and P3. Looks like P3 slower lap 1, slower lap 3, but faster lap 2. So don't count any of your favorite drivers out just yet. I don't think we have any pit stops here for us today, but still going to have to take care of those tires. Can't burn them off too early here. Closest battle on track at the moment we see between Enrico and Mark. P2, P3, and I mean, remember where these guys are running in the points. I'm going to flash that up on the screen just a second here. See Enrico, he's running P2 in the points, and then you got Mark Johnson, P5. So as we continue to tick down towards the end of the season, only 2 races left after today. And see, these points going to matter, every single point, matter of fact, and even for Michael Parker, almost 4,000 freaking I rating. That gap continuing to shrink. Enrico got that down to now just under half of a second. Sorry, it's just me, Sean, in the booth here today. Was supposed to have some help, but yeah, not sure if just oversleeping or just got a little busy, but no issues here. I'm going to give you guys a crank it up 7 minutes into this thing, give you a break from my voice, and let you hear these sweet, sweet Porsche 992 engines whiz around MotorLand Aragon here in Spain. And you see, not your average V8 that we're used to here in Oil Stam Studio Network. That some twin turbos spooling up for us today, so no natural aspiration. But oh, Mike Tyler going to get in the back of David Anderson. That's not somebody you want to get into. And oh, we'll hop on board with David now as he gets his ship righted. Oh, probably thinking, what was that? We're going to take another look at that, give you guys a full screen view of it as well. See if we can break down what happened between Mike and David. Okay, this is heading down into that very, very hard braking zone into the left turn, and looked like Mike carrying. I don't know if that was too much speed or the speed that you want to be carrying there. Just unfortunately, David's going to go around. We'll take one more look. I wasn't sure if that was off the bumper or get a little bit more zoomed in. Then we'll slow it down as these guys approach the apex here. Definitely does kind of look like some contact, but nothing. That's not on purpose. These guys have so much mutual respect for one another. Racing CMS, they do it quite a bit. Man, if you haven't got with these guys yet, check them out. CMSRacing.com. Check out their Discord. Really nice group of guys, and just about every kind of racing you can imagine. I'm here today broadcasting, bringing you the Porsche Cup, but got iRTES a little bit later today, some endurance racing. Check that out on No, that's Apex Racing TV. We'll be putting that show on. Like Tyler, James, Andrew. Yeah, it looks like Mike's going to maybe give that spot back. And then James Andrew just kind of stuck between this little gaggle here. Mike going a little bit wide. James going to present that left side of the track. Down the outside, right-hander up the hill. Not enough room for make this car stick, and gonna have to concede that spot to Mike. Not over yet. Pasquet right there with these guys. This is quite a good battle. Got to aerial cam here. Look at James Andrew again trying to make that left side work. Thinks better of it, backs out, then it cutting down to a little short straightaway to a short shoot, right-hander. Oh man, James Andrew just saying, okay, I got places to be here, but Mike Tyler down into the reverse corkscrew. Kind of take it to these guys, maybe start to pull away just a little bit. We start to approach halfway to go in this thing. We jump on board with that battle for the lead. See our leader, P2, P3 right there. The leader, 2, 3rd, 4th, all within 1 second of another. This is going to come down to a great finish. Coming just to the 12th minute mark out of 30. Gregorado still putting the pressure on Parker, and then Johnson, don't count him yet. These two guys tangle up for the lead. Mike Tyler, I'm showing, went off track. We're going to take a look at this incident. Maybe got an ill-handling race car after some contact earlier, or is this the incident that we saw with David? Nope, no David in front. Whoa, goes very... Oh my gosh. Might go into the next country over. Oh my... Okay. Well, I know we're on the outer layout today, so maybe Mike just pushing a little bit hard, maybe forgetting or running different configuration, or just, yeah, looking for pace. But Mike, unfortunately, going to put him down in 11th place. Biggest mover of the race, DePasquet, that number 8 Porsche, up 3 spots, trying to reel in James Andrew in front of him. Excellent aerial camera shots by, be a little, okay, I thought it was a drone by the way it was moving. Very well could be. Nice work. Stam Studio Network camera crew there. And go ahead, show us a little love. Stam Studio Network, as well as Champion Motorsports YouTube channel. See on the bottom left of your screen, man. Advertise here. Get your logo out here. It talked about, again, Sim Racing 247, Masterworks, Penguin RC, even Xbox Game Pass. Appreciate everybody coming on board, allowing me to bring you this coverage today of this excellent Porsche Cup race. David Nelson gonna go at it. Oh, double Davids here. Oh no, this is David and DePasquet going at it. That David Anderson, maybe a bit of damage to the rear diffuser on his car. This battle's still continuing to rage, almost halfway through this thing. Mentioned it earlier, guys. You can't kind of cook those front tires up too early, because as we start to approach this halfway mark in 20-minute 25, you're going to start to feel that loss in grip in those fronts, and yeah, not sure that you can burn off the rears as much as I'm used to V8 racing, but can definitely still wear these tires out in a quick 30-minute race. And I would like to take a look at the steering inputs. David Nelson again tries to reel in DePasquet here. Some damage to the rear of DePasquet, but check out the steering inputs of David. Pretty aggressive for talking about tire management, or lack thereof it, but David's got some places to be here. He sees DePasquet, James Andrew, and even Mark Reed still a little bit up the road there, but definitely still doable, able to catch these guys. Have to be so precise not to avoid getting into the back bumper of your competitor here. It looks like somebody already did in the back of that number 8, but David showing off racing skills, man. Nice run for David, running P9 at the moment. Again, DePasquet, biggest mover of the race, P8. James Andrew right there in front of this battle. Got some pace showing for him. Showing P7. Lost a spot since the start of the race to Mark Reed. That very nice looking white, pink Porsche Cup car 992. And again, guys, you got to remember, no ABS, no TC. These cars today, oh, it's a handful, as we're seeing Mark just kind of, it looks like crawling around that reverse corkscrew, but that's just how slow that you have to get the car to really just grip and not go wide on exit. Another off track. Jarrett Skinner, nice run for him today, running P5. That's where he started this thing at. A 2000 road I rating. Chad Henson, P4 at the moment. Appreciate Chad coming out. He's leading the points right now, so continuing to have a really good points day. Gonna see where that ends things up. Is now on the last half of this race. In a quick 30 minutes. Mark Johnson, Rico Gregorato, and Michael Parker still our top 3. Don't count out anybody though. I mean, this battle still raging on between Gregorato and Johnson. Take a look. Just a couple car lengths separating the two. We get a great look at the mini mountain there as the drivers come around. The left-hander going to head back up to the right-hander, and then another sweeping. Gonna have to get on the brakes. Another right-hander, then that short shoot straightaway. Uh-oh. Mike Tyler, again, another incident. We're going to take a look here. This is a trouble corner heading down that tough braking zone into turn 1. See what happens. That's very reminiscent to the first incident that we saw with Mike. Ooh, Mike's going to pull this car off the track. I think that's a very ill-handling race car for Mike. Unfortunate. See that because, man, Mike had pace today. At best lap time, a 1:41.29. I do believe. So this battle, oh boy. Mark, Enrico, guys, we still got, I mean, over 10 minutes to go, 12, and still going at it. This takes some skill to do because I mentioned it. These cars aren't your average GT3s. No ABS, no TC. If one single lockup can really ruin, quite frankly, yeah, ruin your race. I've seen 0 lockups from any of these drivers so far. Pass here, still trying to get around James Andrew for P7 spot. Not able to close that gap any. That kind of double left-hander, then we'll kick it back to straightaway, and then that hard braking into turn 1. We'll stick on with this battle just for a moment here. See if DePasquet able to cut down the gap any, excuse me. Looks like he's able to on entry, but James had a bit better exit that time by, and that's quite frankly what it's going to come down to. Exits here, motor racing, especially those longer, or the straightaways that we have here at MotorLand Aragon. That's going to make the difference between the two, and there's going to be a lockup out of DePasquet. That's going to get lots of gravel on his Pirelli, or Michelin, excuse me, racing tires. I'll lose a little bit of grip these next few turns. Be very hard to reel in James now with more gravel on the old Michelins. Setting the car up for the reverse corkscrew. Looks like grip is back in the old number 8. Number 8 running 8. It's always fun to watch. Fun to see when the number match up to. Whoa! Was that somebody going around? It was. I cut away from it right as it happened. David Nelson. Let's take a look at the replay, see what happened. Guess I got one too many screens here, man. Right when I looked away, I heard tires squealing, begging for their lives, and just a little bit of steering input coming out of that left-hander, heading to another kind of smoother left hand, and rear end going to come around on David. So put him down to P10. Excellent run for David. Is now Anderson. There's the double David battle for P9 on track. All right, guys, 9 minutes to go. Enrico still not giving up, and I mean, neither is Mark Johnson. Looks like still able to get that gap just a little bit closer to that lime green Enrico. And then Chad Henson, don't count him out just yet. Right behind this battle, newer paint scheme for Chad we're seeing this week. Baby blue, papaya orange, and just some gray iRTES. Having a good run for Chad, going to get in the points for him as well. All right, you guys put up with me too much. Let's go crank it up for you one more time before we get to the end of this thing. I'll walk you through the field as we do it. Stick with us here. Sean Stamp, Stamp Studio Network, and Champion Motorsports. Alrighty, welcome back. You see some pink lap times being put down. That means quickest lap of the session. Gregorado going to go to him, that P2 car, as he continues to push for Michael Parker. Mark Reed, James Andrew, that's 6th and 7th spot at the moment. DePasquet still P8 in the number 8 Porsche. David Anderson, David Nelson, and Mike Tyler rounding out 9th, 10th, 11th. We cut to another great drone shot. You see that gap between, unfortunately, Enrico, Michael Parker. It's a little bit bigger than I thought would be, but however, the gap between Johnson and Gregorado, well, that's starting to kind of show itself just a bit more than what we were just at a couple laps ago. Oh, everybody continuing to push just a bit harder now, and whether that's going to result in pace from your driving style or a lockup, getting off the track, it's all mental these last couple minutes of the race. Speaking of mental games, cut to it one more time here, David Anderson. Again, thank you, driver cams. That just adds that much more to the broadcast. And you see him, I mean, leaning into these corners. This is iRacing after all, simulating just about every freaking thing you can imagine. And look at the mental focus here, especially through the old reverse corkscrew. Having to set the car up, right, left, left again. Excuse me, left, right, left again. Then we're going to go a left carousel. I mean, there's no blinking going on. I wouldn't doubt if we start seeing some beads of sweat. That's just iRacing for you. It takes that much out of you, both physically and mentally. Just under 5 minutes to go. This battle for P2. Johnson's not going anywhere yet. He is unfortunately about 10 car lengths back, I'd call that. But hey, all it takes, simple lockup, or just even a miss of a racing line for Greg Arado. These Porsche Cup cars signifying just about every ounce of driver skill that these guys have. And mentioned it earlier in the race, halfway through it, for these guys still to be nose to tail like this, for the lead, this is pretty impressive. Great, great racing, CMS. Okay, keep mentioning this, but it seems like some of these cars are more well handling in the corner, in faster corners compared to some of their counterparts. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not sure if these are fixed setup or they can kind of make their own here today for CMS. But yeah, it seems like Parker really able to get that better exit out of the corners, and then you have Greg Arado, who's seems like his pace is there on the straightaways. Not sure if that's just the slipstream he's getting from the car in front of him. And same sort of story from Mark Johnson, but could also be the dirty air. I mean, I mentioned it. iRacing simulating just about everything they can, and sure, if you're the leader, you got the clean air on the nose, that Porsche, but getting this more turbulent wake here, but behind the leader of Parker, say Greg Arado, Johnson. Sure, you're trying to push hard, keep that P2 or P3 spot, but a little bit harder in some of these turns with that wake coming across the front nose, making it a little bit tougher to turn. So that racing rubber line really starting to form in this race now, 27 minutes into this thing. This is something, if you're a part of iRTES race earlier, you're kind of taking note of this. I believe these are going to be just the exact same track conditions, so yeah, take a note in just how fast that track is taking this rubber. Looks like some clean, clear weather for racing a little bit later today here in iRTES, so good looks there, because, man, we have had to race in the rain a few times here, CMS, and whew, I'll keep you on your toes. Yeah, a little bit of internet blinkage going on there between driver, but James Andrew still P7. Fortunately, Jarrett able to get around him for that P6 spot. Nice paint scheme, and again, papaya orange in another one of these Porsche Cup cars. Battles all over the track. This is our closest one at the moment between Mark and Jarrett, and with lap times about 1 minute 30 seconds, should be approaching 2 to go. Enrico's really trying to push here, I've noticed in the timing standings. Oops. Okay, well, cutting back to the old exciting action here, but I just, yeah, took notice that Enrico is now over a second's gap on trying to catch Parker for that lead, so we'll keep you on board with Reed-Skinner battle here. It's a newer track uploaded within iRacing. Believe only just a year or two old in the service, and newer technologies going in to I mean, you see, we'll cut back to the nose shot here. I saw some really attention to detail, so some drainage ditches and rain runoff areas. That all goes into the simulation, especially when rain starts to pick up. But no rain for us today. Clear skies here in Spain. Gonna get too wide. Who's going to give way? Jarrett. Mark Reed going down our long straightaway. We have Jarrett. Ooh, gonna give way. But is he just trying to set up this next corner on Mark? But no, it looks like Mark's gonna take that spot back over Jarrett. This will be white flag is out. You see it right side of your screen. Barney the flag man having his arm workout of the day. Parker just has to keep his thing clean. Going to solidify this this great run in the points for him. Might even, I don't think he'll take the win away from the points on Chad, as we still have 2 races to go. Our last race of the season will be Nürburgring GP. So, but we got one more before that. I believe that's, let me see, that's Suzuka. Ooh, that's going to be a fun battle. Make sure to join us next time. CMS Racing on SSN, as well as CMS YouTube channel. Chad Henson, man, started P4, still P4. Using all the available track, really setting up this next turn up into the next hill. Carousel left-hander, one that just never seems to end. Jarrett really trying to push, get to the back bumper of Reed. Unfortunately, doesn't look like it's going to happen. His checkered flag is going to fly this time by for Parker. Going to cut to this battle between David, the double Davids still going at this for battle of P9, but that's going to solidify it for Michael Parker. Congratulations, MotorLand Aragon. Print that one up, put that one in the display case. Michael Parker, P1. Enrico Gregorato coming on P2. Very fast lap times. Matter of fact, I believe the fastest of the session today. Mark Johnson coming home P3. Chad Henson Turbo P4. Nice run. Mark Reed able to get that spot from Jarrett Skinner. Solidify P5. Gained 2 spots since the start of the race. Jarrett Skinner going down P6. James Andrew P7. DePascal, biggest mover of the race. Up 3 spots, going to finish P8, bringing home number 8. David Anderson, double Davids. David's going to take that battle between these two, get P9 for himself. David Nelson, and then unfortunately Mike Tyler, man, just a little bit too much damage, had to bring his Porsche Cup car to the pits. Congratulations, everybody coming out today and racing this great Champion Motorsports race with us here today. And stick with us, because for Apex Racing TV here in just a couple hours time, we will have that iRTES Endurance Series race. What a race here today. Unfortunate again that it was just me up in the booth, that you guys had to deal with that. Try and flash some, well, those are practice results, so we'll get the old race results back up on your screen there. Those are official left side of your screen. Okay, I don't think, well, let me check here before I end things off. I don't think that I have any of these drivers in the CMS Discord, but I'm gonna hop in there anyways, just see if anybody would like to chat it.
Difficult, and yeah. One, I'll
Okay, I don't want to impose on these guys' conversation mid thing, so I think I'm just going to hop back out of here. Congratulations again, Michael Parker. He's not in this chat, so yeah, okay. This has been Sean Stam, Stam Studio Network. Thank you all for joining us here. CMS, Sean Stam. Check us out next time at Suzuka. Then we will be in Nürburgring GP for that last race of the season. Have a great rest of your day. And, man, safe travels if you're traveling for the Super Bowl tonight. Or just keep off the road. I think it's safer that way. But, man, hopefully your team wins that thing. And, man, Sean Stam signing off. Thank you guys joining today.